In 1955, a man appeared in Czechoslovakia. He appeared to be deaf. He appeared to be mute. He could not or would not communicate in Czech or in any language authorities tried. Where he came from, no one could determine. He had no documents. He had no name that anyone could extract from him. He was simply there. This would have been unusual under any circumstances. In 1955 Czechoslovakia, under the surveillance apparatus of a communist state, it was nearly impossible. Movement was restricted. Borders were controlled. The SINTB, the Czechoslovak secret police, monitored everyone. A man without a past, without papers, without a language, should not have been able to exist. They noticed him. The SINTB opened a file on the man. They watched him. They tried to establish who he was. They brought in linguists to test whether he could understand speech in languages he wasn't reacting to. They tried sign languages. They tried written communication. They ran his description against missing persons records, against defector lists, against known intelligence assets from other countries. Nothing matched. The surveillance continued for years. The file grew. The man remained unidentified. What the file eventually concluded, according to the researchers who obtained portions of it after the fall of communism, was that the SINTB never determined who the man was or where he came from. They suspected he was an intelligence asset of some kind, possibly Western, possibly using the deaf-mute presentation as a cover. They suspected he had crossed the border clandestinely and was operating under deep cover. They could not prove this. They could not prove anything. At some point, the surveillance ended, either because the man died, or because he left Czechoslovakia, or because the file was closed for other reasons. The records are incomplete. His identity has never been established. This case sits in an odd category. The communist secret police were not an organization known for overlooking things. They surveilled their own citizens with extraordinary thoroughness. The idea that a man could appear in their country, be watched for years, and remain completely unidentified is striking regardless of what the explanation turns out to be. The most plausible explanation is that he was a foreign intelligence operative of some kind who maintained his cover even under prolonged surveillance. That doesn't explain where he went, or who sent him, or what he was doing there. The second explanation is that he was genuinely mentally ill, a person without coherent history who had somehow crossed into Czechoslovakia through a gap in the border controls. People fall through systems. Even very tight systems have gaps. The third explanation has no name. He was a man who appeared and was watched and was never explained. In 1955, in Czechoslovakia, the SINTB couldn't figure it out.